Lead nurturing. So what do I mean by that? Now, a lot of times, whenever you are maybe getting on a call, maybe you're doing any kind of live presentation or whatever the case might be, a big issue that a lot of business owners face that stops them from getting a lot of sales is that people do not actually end up trusting you. This means that they actually doubt, would you be able to actually fulfill the service or product that you're actually selling? Are you a legit organization? Do you think that you will actually scam them and run away with the money and go to Bangladesh and actually hide somewhere? So those are some concerns that a lot of individuals have, especially when they're interacting with somebody online. And unfortunately, this has happened because of a lot of scams and whatnot that go on. And I don't necessarily blame the consumers. It's just the world that we live in. People are just more cautious. So how do you actually go about building trust and nurturing your leads? Now, according to a study done by Google, they actually reported that before somebody actually buys something from any company, an individual spends around about 8 hours consuming some sort of content or some sort of written content. It could be video content, audio content, or whatever the case might be, and has approximately 7 to 8 touch points with that particular individual before they make the decision to actually buy whatever they are selling. So what does that mean? This means we need to go out and be sort of like present in front of our audience, and we need to ensure that we are giving them enough value to ensure that they are able to build that some sort of relationship with us online, and then they also have that more trust to actually go ahead and buy whatever we are selling. So how do we go about doing this? Well, first thing that you can consider is, what a lot of people do is they would do some sort of marketing. Okay, then they would generate the lead, right? And then they would expect to just call them and start selling them, or invite them somewhere and start selling them, right? This is wrong, because nowhere over here is this nurturing or trust building thing is happening. So what you can consider doing is, next time whenever you just generate a lead, rather than straight away going and pitching them whatever you are selling, what you can do is you can maybe add some sort of mechanism in between. It could be maybe some sort of webinar presentation, it could be some sort of video, it could be maybe some sort of audio content, it could be some sort of ebook, or it could be an actual book, right? Or something which allows this person to understand more about your brand, more about your organization, more about what exactly you are doing, so that they are feeling a lot better when it comes to taking their hard-earned money and giving it to you. So you can consider that. And this is one of the best things that you can actually do, because when these people actually see this content and they understand the value that you're bringing to the table, and they can also understand how you are different or unique compared to other people out there, then they would be in a much better position to actually buy from you. Now, if you want to learn how do you go about creating an amazing webinar, you can go to my YouTube channel and literally just type Rohan Dhawan webinar or presentation or something like that, and you will be able to actually see a whole video tutorial where I'm breaking down how do I go about creating this entire webinar presentation for yourself. So let's suppose you had these 100 people go through your marketing, 100 people end up your webinar, and 10 people end up buying whatever you're selling. Still, what would happen is you would have 90 people who haven't actually, still decided, despite the fact you are like, okay, Rohan, I've added this webinar, I've added this book or whatever you are telling, and I'm nurturing these leads, but still not everybody ended up buying whatever I'm selling. That's a great thing, because, some people just probably won't attend your webinar, or maybe they won't see the video, or even after seeing all this, they will still be like, hey, you know what, I still need to know this person a little bit more. Because there are like two types of people on earth. For the first category of people would be like, hey, they will go to a date, and instantly after the date they are like, wow, I've decided to actually fall in love with this person and they are my soulmate. It's kind of like, have you seen that movie Dhoom, where there's this character Yash, wherever he sees like this Uday Chopra, basically he sees this woman or whatever, and he starts imagining his entire life with that particular person. So that's category 1 type of people, and category 2 type of people, they are like, you know what, I still want to go on a few more dates. I still want to actually get to know this person before I make the commitment to this individual. So for those people, which honestly are majority of the people, right, what you would have to do is then you can think about sending more regular content to these people, getting them to maybe, subscribe to your YouTube channel, and posting videos regularly there, kind of like how I'm doing right now. Maybe chances are that you came across me ages ago, but you still weren't convinced that, hey, is this Rohan guy legit, or I don't know, he's like some scamster or whatever, right? So point is, you can record YouTube videos, you can consider doing podcasts, right? And you can consider maybe creating Instagram content or reels. You can consider sending emails. Maybe you can consider even I don't know what other platforms are there. I don't even know what. TikTok is not even, I think, allowed here, but whatever. Maybe Snapchat you want to consider. Point is, for me personally, YouTube, emails, Instagram, and maybe appearing on some podcasts ends up doing most of the job, right? So to these 90 people, right, what you can do is you can consider actually sending them these content pieces every now and then. They will keep seeing them, keep seeing them, keep seeing them, and eventually they might consider that, hey, you know what, this person is actually making sense. Now I feel much more of a relationship. And guess what? They would actually end up buying from you. In fact, a recent study that I did probably last month, where I actually analyzed the people who actually bought my advice and services, I realized that the average person last month was following me for 14.5 months on average before they ended up making the decision to actually buy something from me, right? So similarly, if you are just focusing on just, top of the things, and you're not doing active activities to, nurture your audience, build a relationship with them, then guess what? You are definitely not doing enough to build trust with these individuals. And this is the reason why you're not getting sales.